Hey guys, this is Team Winnings Bryan again. Sorry for taking forever and a day to post a video. I said we were going to do a rant. We have this nice, lovely little thing called college, which seems to just get in there and muck up every plan I try and make. So this is my one free weekend. I'm going to try and make the best of it. I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of deck updates. We'll probably have to do the rant video later. And we're going to do a tournament update sometime after next week because we're going to Atlanta regional qualifiers. With that being said, Set 7 just came out last week. We had box videos for you, but literally every single camera while I was opening my two boxes crashed, so I don't have any of those anymore. I'm sorry. They weren't spectacular, so don't worry about it. Anyways, I updated Pale Moon to Set 7 Pale Moon. I like this a lot better than my original version. I may build another version based on Alice later, but right now I like this version a lot. So, with that being said, let's start with our new starter, which is Girl Who Crossed the Gap. She's awesome. When you ride something on top of her, that's a Pale Moon card, you get to call her out, and then you can counterblast one and put her into soul to take any Pale Moon in your soul and call it to a rear guard. There's a lot of combos with this. I'll get to that in a second, but we're going to go ahead and boot her off to the side here. My triggers are the same as in 90% of the decks I play. I have, now that they have them, 8 crits. And let me get my other 2 crits that decided not to come with me. There are my 8 crits. They got this crit in this set. This one is a add to soul power plus 3,000 something. It can be really useful, especially if you can do it more than once. There are ways to do that. You can call it, add it to soul. Use Girl Who Crossed the Gap, get it back, add it back to soul, and add 3,000 more. So it has the potential to do a lot of stuff. And then you have your just standard 5k shield. Let's get these out of here. I'm playing 4 draws. I'm not playing the draws from the old set because, honestly, these are just a lot more awesome. They are Flying Goblins, chucking flyers. It's just a standard draw trigger. It's a picture preference. I'm also deathly afraid of clowns, so I kicked all the clowns out of the deck. So, clown's gone. Oh yeah, and as logic, I don't play Rainbow Magician because this version of the deck doesn't really soul charge a whole lot, and Rainbow Magician's only really good early game, and he doesn't help you hit numbers unless he's behind a Midnight Invader. But, hey look. Remember where I said I hate clowns? I really hate clowns. That stupid candy clown trigger that looked like a freak of nature. Yeah, I have popcorn boys now. They're more awesome. It's just a little boy on a bike handing out 40,000 grains of popcorn. Standard heal trigger, nothing special. And I hate clowns. I don't think I'm going to say that enough during this video. So, on to the ones. We have the same 4 Hades Hypnotists, which is the perfect guard from last time. Perfect guard is you put in your guardian zone, you drop a Pale Moon from your hand, and no matter what, a Pale Moon you choose can't be hit for that attack. So, I play 4 of perfect guards in almost everything. Actually, I play it in everything currently, except I'm about to change it in Dark Regulars, I think. We'll get to that video later. Then I have, if they will quit falling out of my hands, Sexy Tamers. Sexy Tamer 1. Turquoise Beast Tamer. If there is a Crimson Beast Tamer in your soul, she gets power plus 3,000. She's a 6,000 base, so she becomes a 9k booster. If it's early game and you can pull it off, she can actually become a 9k swinger. Her ability is not exclusive to whether she boosts or not. It's just she gets plus 3,000 during the turn. And then one of these new awesome cards that I really like, Purple Trapezist. 6k power is kind of meh on it, but the real beauty in this card comes from her ability. When she comes into play, you choose another Pale Moon other than Purple Trapezist and add it to your soul, and then you can call a Pale Moon from your soul other than Purple Trapezist, I believe. I need to recheck it. Choose a Pale Moon other than choose a Pale Moon other than Purple Trapezist. The first ability of putting a Pale Moon into your soul, it just says another Pale Moon, so you can't play Trapezist and then pop this same Trapezist into your soul. But if you have 2 Trapezists in play, you can, or 1 Trapezist in play, and you play another Trapezist, you can use that Trapezist to put the other Trapezist. Yes, I'm going to say Trapezist a lot in this video. So let's get them out of here. I'll show you some combos with this too. There's one that can be a full column reset depending on what your opponent lets happen. 3 Midnight Bunnies. When it boosts something and it hits, you counterblast 1, put Midnight Bunny in soul, search your soul for something, call it out to a rear guard circle. You really, in this deck, you really just want these kind of behind your Vanguard. You don't want to do anything else with them other than just let them kind of be behind the Vanguard. There's a combo with this and Purple Trapezist and the Vanguard, the main Vanguard I play in here. So I will get to that in a second. We'll go ahead and boot these to the side. On to the 2s. The 2s have actually changed a lot from last time I did this video. So, but these, again, sexy tamers. 8k, when Crimson Beast Tamer is in the soul, it gains power plus 3000. There is a way to make this 11 on turn 2, depending on whether you take damage. It'll involve the next card I show you, which makes this entire deck, like, silly good. So let's go ahead and kick the Tamer to the side and go to what is, in my opinion, the absolute best card in this deck. Not Bunny. Dancing Princess of the Night Sky. This is a new unit from set 7, and her effect is absolutely amazing. Comes into play, Counterblast 1, search your deck for a grade 2 or lower Pale Moon, and add it to Soul. Now, the implications may be kind of disturbing, but just to show you some key targets for this ability, which are very, very useful. I mean, I can keep going, and there's just a lot of stuff that she can get. So, I mean, she lets you get all of your little key components, stuff them into your soul, lets you set up for combos later. And like these 4 right here are the main thing that she goes and gets. She is the MVP of the deck. If you don't have any of this, you can go get it. It doesn't matter. So let me reorganize my stack of cards again. And I know normally I do stuff like that at the end of the videos, but literally that one is too important to not do right then. That's one of those, you live it, you love it, you learn it, you play it type plays. And then the next one, this is a personal preference, but as you see, I am not playing any vanillas in this deck. So I found that the Cerberus in this deck really just didn't help. Now this card is, 1, it looks cool. 2, it's not a clown dog. I hate clowns. And 3, she can still help you hit magic numbers, especially with Turquoise Beast Tamer. So with that being said, this is Fire Breeze Carry. It's another new unit out of the new set. She's just, when she hits Counterblast 2, draw a card. The thing about this deck is, outside of Dancing Princess and Girl Who Crossed the Gap, you don't really Counterblast. So you might as well use that Counterblast or something, and I think she's the thing you use it on. Free cards are always good. Or making them block so you don't get free cards, even better. Still plus off of it. And now we go on to the 3s. Now, I was saying Dancing Princess is the absolute MVP, but this is definitely the close second, and the new starter for this day. It's called Sword Magician Sarah. Her second ability, I'm going to do it first because it's not as important, is when it gets boosted by a Pale Moon, it gains power plus 3000. Remember Bunny? I was talking about Bunny. You want Bunny behind this thing. Makes a 20 column, and if they let the first ability go off, this card gets silly. The first ability is, if you drive check a grade 3 while she is the Vanguard, and you have another grade 3 in play, you can choose a grade 3 in play and add it to Soul to call anything out of Soul to Rearguard. Now, the implications will evolve on this next grade 3, and then I'll show you the combo. But basically, she, with Bunny, can let you reset an entire column as long as they let it hit. Which, a 20k, sometimes they won't let hit, but it's still an insurance measure. It's one of those things where you may force them to overguard just so you don't get your combo off, because they don't know what you're going to drive check. And then the next thing, which is new, and is the only pseudo-freaky looking card, and even then it doesn't look that bad. It's called Midnight Invader. And Midnight Invader is just, if you attack a Vanguard and you have a Pale Moon Vanguard, it gains power plus 2. Seems kind of meh for this deck, especially when you have things like Silverthorn, Dragon Tamer, Lukier. But I don't like Lukier in this build. Lukier, in my opinion, is a soul charge card. This deck doesn't soul charge. It specifically rips stuff, which is good. Now, let me show you some combos and show you why I like this version. Okay, you're going to have a Midnight Invader, and I'm going to try and position it based on how the camera is. You're going to have a Sword Magician Sarah. Let's just say, for play's sake, that you've already used your Girl Who Crossed the Gap and you've gotten other stuff off of it. We're going to go ahead and say that you have a Crimson Beast Hammer and Soul, which you should at this point. We're also going to say you have a Purple Trapezist, which is equally as important. Hence the Dancing Princess of the Night Sky at 4, and maybe an 8K, but you just use its ability and intercept it away. And then you have a bunny back here, and then you have 2 turquoise Beast Hammers back here. I know the positioning is really bad. I'm sorry. My camera's bad. We've been over this. Shouldn't have to repeat myself. So, what you do in this situation is you attack with this column first. So you hit him for 21. Because this gains +2 when it swings, and this gains +3 because you have this nice little Crimson Beast Hammer and Soul. So that's how you make a 21 column in this deck. You can put another turquoise Beast Hammer behind the Vanguard if you want. I like playing it this way because of this combo. These two actually aren't important, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them so I can show you the actual combo. Alright, so now you attack with your Sarah, boosted by Bunny. Let's say they don't guard. You're going to drive check. Let's say you drive check a random card, which is, let's say just to add insult to injury, you're going to drive check a Poison Juggler, and then you're going to drive check a Midnight Invader. At this point, your opponent is probably screaming up and down on the top of his lungs because he didn't block. I'm going to show you why. So in this case, you would actually add all of the effects of your crit to your Vanguard. Seems kind of silly, but it's not. And then, on this, you get the Sarah ability. Which, the Sarah ability... Or actually, no. Let's do it this way. Let's say you drive check this first, and then you drive check the crit. Because then this makes it even sillier. So you drive check the Midnight Invader. Sarah's ability goes off. You take this Midnight Invader here. And then, oh look, it comes back. And it comes back standing. Seems pretty good. Now you drive check the crit. Put the crit on the Vanguard, and the power on the Midnight Invader you just reset. Seems pretty good. At this point, you activate the Bunny skill, which pretend you can counterblast. You counterblast the Bunny into your soul, and then you get the Purple Trapezist out. When the Purple Trapezist comes out, you take any Pale Moon that you have in play, or at least these 3, and you get to put it in soul and then call something else. Guess what silly shenanigans happen right here? Yeah, that's right. You just reset that entire column without using a stand, and all it required was 1 counterblast and a grade 3 on the drive check. And now, since you powered this thing up, this column is actually now swinging for a 26. So, granted, 9 times out of 10 it won't work like that. Really, this just ends up being a power deck with 21 and 20 columns, which is still pretty solid. But if you can get the gimmick off and they can't block, I mean, this can be a game ender, and I've ended games with this combo many a time. Other than that, naturally, this is the end of this video. As always, like, comment, subscribe, ask questions. Yada yada spiel. And, I will be posting a couple other videos. I'm going to post my Dark Irregulars here in a second. It's not, like, finished, but I can make it work, so I kind of just go with it. But, anyways, that is Team Winning Out. I will have this video up shortly.